Hello and welcome to another RadioTimes.com Love Island live chat. I'm Sarah Doran.
And I'm Ellie Harrison.
So we are going to be taking you back through the last 24 hours in the Love Island villa, but also having a look ahead to what's to come tonight. And wow, what a show they have in store for us tonight, because it's just been revealed that there's going to be a pretty big shock dumping twist. Ellie, are you excited?
Yeah, I'm very excited. So this will be the first couple being kicked off the island.
Two people going.
Yeah, two people going. And the Islanders are being thrown into a bit of a state this evening, having to decide who's out.
Yeah, so they're going to have to get in their couples, they're going to have to discuss it and decide who they think are the least compatible couples on the island. So each couple will be asked to vote for who they think is the least compatible, and then the two couples who are left over, as the text Eyal received read, will be at risk of being dumped on tomorrow night's show. Now, I'm sure everybody has their couples that they think are at risk and aren't at risk, and we think there are probably more at risk than not at risk. How many times can you say at risk in a sentence? So Ellie and I are going to take you through the couples we think are most at risk. See, I've said it again. Who stand the best chance of disappearing.
It should be a drinking
from
game.
our screens. It should be a no, it should not. Drinking cups of tea.
Drink
Lots
responsibly.
Of cups of tea, yes. So Ellie, we'll kick it off with, I think, the boy who is one of the biggest talking points.
Eyal. Yes, if I've said it correctly,
I hope
which
we have.
lots of people struggle to.
I mean, you've already done a better job than Hayley. You've remembered it.
Yeah. Didn't take 3 minutes for getting it in the beach hat. But yes, Eyal and Meghan, they are the hot topic at the moment. I think, as Sarah said, the vote's meant to be down to which is the most compatible couple. But I think if it's going to be a popularity vote, which it might turn into, then Eyal's not very popular with the boys in the villa at the moment.
No, and he definitely won't be after tonight's episode. We've seen some sneak peeks over on the Love Island app and on RadioTimes.com, where we do keep you up to date with what's happening. And it looks as though Eyal is going to find out the truth about what Adam and Charlie planned and what Alex was up to. Now, I'm just going to say, can we segue a little bit into how brilliant that plan was?
Yeah, so this was the hysterical moment in last night's episode when Charlie and Adam decided to speak to Eyal about his spirituality in a bid to distract him from Alex making his move on Meghan, and the results were amazing. They spoke about, was it Ryan's belt?
Yeah, Ryan's belt is my favourite constellation. Or star. I don't think they knew the difference. We are speaking about Orion's belt. Just to be clear, we do actually know.
Yeah. I think Eyal also said, I really, really like green things, and smelled someone's bracelet. But yeah, the poor guy didn't know that he was being royally mugged off.
But I feel, in a way, like I would almost not just blame Eyal, part of me would blame Meghan as well, because I'd vote Meghan off just by the fact that she sat there and had this lovely chat with Alex, and then Alex runs upstairs and he's like to Jack, oh mate, she touched my leg.
She touched my leg,
she
yeah.
touched my leg.
Excitement.
And he was so pleased, and it was a bit like, it was like his Sandy from Greece moment where he came up at the end in his black t-shirt and he's like, all right, Meghan, how are you?
Made it.
And it looked like it was going so far, and then she's downstairs snogging Eyal.
Yeah, so I think the Islanders might agree with us that they're not kind of bound for a long-term happiness.
No. A couple I do think a lot of people will think are at risk is Alex and Samira. But actually, I wonder if the fact that they are friends puts them in a much stronger position with the other Islanders.
Yeah, because I think lots of people would argue that on paper they're more of a friendship than a relationship, but actually the other Islanders love them so much and they're so supportive of each other that I can't see them being voted off. And yeah, if it ever reaches a public vote, I can't see them choosing those two to leave.
No, exactly. It's like you say, at every recoupling, both Samira and Alex have said, I'm choosing to couple up with this guy or this girl because they're so lovely.
Yeah, the speech.
And I really want them to have the chance to find their person who's their 100% their type on paper. And I just feel like, say, like Danny and Laura, or Danny and Jack, I should say, and Wes and Laura, and maybe even Josh and Georgia, they're not the kind of people that will want to take that away from Alex and Samira. So I wonder if maybe, just by virtue of that, tight-knit group that they have, they might be okay.
Yeah, they're actually in the green. Yeah, completely. Another couple which could be on the rocks because of someone's rather snaky behaviour is Adam and Rosie.
Does that sound like a hiss, or does it just sound like I'm blowing some air out of my mouth?
I got it.
I'm not sure.
It's a bit terrifying.
Of course, we have to remember earlier this week, Adam essentially kind of put the moves on Meghan a little bit, and Meghan was just having none of it, so she went back to Rosie and told Rosie, listen, Adam's been saying some stuff about you. And then Rosie called him out in front of everybody, which I think we're a little bit, we can't quite agree on this.
Yeah, we weren't sure if that was the right, I thought maybe it wasn't the right way to go about it, but Sarah thought it was kind of a show of defiance. And either way, they were agreed on the fact that Adam was, he behaved badly.
Completely out of order. And I know Laura pulled him aside in last night's episode and she was saying, Adam, it's just not right that you're doing this. These girls have feelings too. And she was really proud of herself in the beach hut afterwards that she'd said this. Yeah. But to be honest, I think he needed a bit more of a firm telling off.
Yeah, definitely. And also all the other girls agreed, I think actually Rosie kind of forgave him a bit too easily. Yeah. So they might well be voted off just because.
Yeah, and I mean, Rosie did say, I'm choosing to couple up with this boy because he's the only one left. So, I mean, it doesn't exactly spell a happy relationship. I think it makes, I think you made a really good point. So, just jumping back a little bit to Alex and Samira, if you saw, say, Alex and Samira and Adam and Rosie in a bottom two, you wouldn't think that Adam and Rosie stood a chance really against Alex and Samira, because you've got a very, I don't want to say hated, but like somebody who seems to inspire a lot of hatred.
A bit of a villain.
A bit of a villain versus, precious Alex, the doctor who everybody wants to see find his ideal woman. I think Alex and Samira are a bit like the Camilla and Montana of this year, to be perfectly honest.
Or who knows, maybe there'll be a twist and those two will end up,
rom-com.
falling in lust.
I mean,
like the rest of them.
Alex just reminds me of a young Hugh Grant.
Oh, really?
What was it he said to the camera last night?
Oh, peng salt. In basically that accent, or slightly more of a Welsh lilt to it. But he's learning the lingo, which is
so sweet.
Exciting.
So sweet. Another couple who could be at risk is one we haven't really seen much from lately. Well, at all. They've literally just gotten together.
Yeah, it's just the beginnings.
But funny enough, according to our sources at ITV, they're already on the rocks.
Yeah,
Hayley's
already fed up again. She thinks she might be being a bit too fussy, and Charlie is he's saying, I'm always kissing her and sitting next to her and trying to chat to her, but she's not really giving anything back, so he doesn't know where his head's at.
I mean, it's probably because he hasn't signed up for the HD brows yet that she seemed to want to give him. She wanted him to tint his eyebrows. Maybe if Charlie tinted his eyebrows, Hayley would be happy. Charlie, you're perfect as you are. Don't change a thing for anybody. I'd say that to any of the Islanders,
That's beautiful.
Love you for you. What is it they say on RuPaul's Drag Race? If you don't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love anybody else?
Yeah,
And
that works across all.
It works for all. I wonder, though, if maybe Charlie made a mistake. Maybe he asked Hayley, what her favourite animal was.
Yeah, probably, or just probably got a bit deep.
I mean, that's a deal breaker.
At least he doesn't have a strictly professional job, because that would be really off-putting.
No, it's really off-putting to kiss a man with a strictly professional job, according to Hayley. Hayley, I'm not sure about that. I don't think I've ever kissed a man with a strictly professional job.
No.
So I can't be sure.
No. But who's safe? Yes. On to brighter and happier things. My favourite couple in the villa is Jack and Danny.
Oh, they're a right sort, aren't they?
Yeah, a couple of sorts.
I can't do the accent. I can't do the accent.
Please don't try. We love them. They seem to be just coasting along, really, like no rocky bits since, his untrustworthiness at the beginning.
Yeah.
And my highlight, actually, of their kind of interactions with each other was when they were doing an impression of Eyal and his kind of spiritual chat and the way he speaks quite slowly and as if he's discovered every word as he says it. But they just have, not to use the word banter, but I'm going to do it, they have great banter between them.
To cut to that, actually, when they were doing those impressions, I had to keep looking at the screen. I couldn't not look at the screen because I was like, is it Jack or is it Eyal?
Yeah, it was uncanny.
Which one? And Danny, she's just so relatable. There's just something lovely about her. When they got their surprise date earlier in the week, she was like, I've not even washed my hair, I haven't shaved my legs. I was like, gosh, haven't we all been there? We've all pulled on a pair of jeans or a pair of tights because we've not shaved the legs. Yeah. And dry shampooed the life out of the hair. And she's just, and who else could rock a nice little orange two-piece?
Yeah. No, it's lovely.
And I think they're quite popular among the Islanders as well. So I don't think we'll see them at risk.
No, I actually think they're the least. I think they're the safest. I'm going to put that out there, and then probably who knows what will be proven wrong. But so it's them, and then Wes and Laura.
Okay, so this is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, so they're kind of the grown-up couple. They're sort of like the mum and dad out of the group, aren't they? And it all seems to be going almost too well. And I think even Laura, we've seen a kind of little bit of a preview of tonight, and it seems that Laura might be getting cold feet over the age gap because Wes is getting very invested. And, so she's 29, he's 20. And he's very into it, but I think she's slightly worried that they might be moving too fast.
Yeah.
Which has obviously never happened on Love Island before. Shock horror.
Never. I mean, it was interesting. They went on their date last night. They brought them to a church and they put her in a white dress. And like,
I didn't even
not at all
those
pushing
things.
that agenda. And they seem to get along so well. And I mean, he has said he's never kind of batted an eyelid when she said things like she's looking for a husband, she's looking for marriage, she's looking to settle down eventually. I don't think she means right now.
And they spoke about kids as well last night, didn't they?
And now I think maybe she's a little bit worried because he said something, I think it was they were in the beach hut and he said something like, oh, you love that and you love me. And then she was like, no, I didn't say that. I didn't say I love you.
Not the L word.
Not the L word, but the other L word, like, which I think we could count up how many times that's used in an episode in many different contexts. The word like seems to give Laura a little bit of a scare. What I do think, though, is I don't think they're going to be in trouble if it goes to a vote because...
No, neither. Not yet, at least.
Yeah, and earlier in the week when we had the Islanders given the option to send somebody to the hideaway for the first time, they picked Wes and Laura.
Yeah. So in their eyes, they're the ultimate couple in a way.
Completely, and they look set to kind of be fine.
Yeah.
There is somebody else we haven't spoken about, and I've just realised that. And it's probably because we haven't really seen very much of them. And that's Georgia and Josh.
Yeah.
So Georgia, of course, was left coupleless when Niall left the villa earlier in the week.
Sad departure.
And she chose to couple up with Josh. He really put in the heavy graft, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. I think they had quite a spark on their date. I wish he would take that red headband off.
I know.
It's like flapping in his eyes.
Can we just say, and Adam's headband as well. I know he only wore it briefly for that night. Boys, just ditch the headbands.
There must have been some kind of thing.
Some pact.
Yeah, exactly.
Some pact part of the plan,
embarrass each other equally. But yeah, so we haven't really seen much of those two. I wonder if they're getting on.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe because we haven't seen much of them, could they kind of slip under the radar? Could they be one of the couples that people might just go, do you know what? But no, but even if, either a slow burner or the other couples on the island are kind of like, you're kind of only together because you're there? Would they maybe, be an
Won't believe
easy
it's
vote?
invested.
Yeah, when you have to make a tough decision between your friends who are in a couple and maybe someone else who's in a couple who you want to give a second chance to, do you just take the third kind of easy option? I mean, we've seen shocks like that on Love Island before.
Also, because Josh is so new, I guess people don't have strict loyalties to him in the same way that they might do to the original Islanders.
No. The question is, of course, though, one thing we haven't been completely clear on is what happens to those two couples who are at risk of being dumped? Do we know? So what happens next, Ellie? I know you might have some insider information.
Well, we did hear from a show insider earlier who said that they are expecting the two remaining couples who are at risk of eviction to go to a public vote. We don't know whether that will be the public voting to save their favourites or voting to evict, or whether, like the Islanders, it will be voting for the least compatible couple to leave. So I think we can expect a public vote, but what form that takes, we don't yet know. I
think it's so interesting because there is such a difference when you're voting to evict or you're voting to save. Because
completely.
You're channeling two completely different emotions there.
Yeah, also I think people tend to vote for the one that's strongest in their mind, so even if they like someone the most, they might not necessarily think of someone to vote to evict. It's a bit of a flip choice. So yeah, who knows what will happen there. I think there's always a twist, isn't there? I've
got to ask Ellie, who would you like to see leave first?
Oh, that's tricky. I want Eyal and Adam to go. Obviously, they're not coupled up, so that wouldn't happen. But I'd probably say Adam and Rosie because I'm enjoying the Eyal and Megan drama a little bit more. What about you?
See, okay, my heart says Eyal and Megan because I just feel like Alex hasn't had the nicest experience with them. Eyal's just kind of annoyed me personally. I'm sure he's a lovely bloke, but the way he's come across on screen, whatever way it's been edited or, whatever, I just really haven't warmed to him. And Megan, I really don't feel like I know what's going on with her. Like, she came in, we read some of her interviews before she came in and she was interested in Niall and Eyal, yet all of a sudden she was interested in Alex, who just so happened to be one of the most popular characters. And I kind of felt echoes of Craig, who came in and was all over Camilla. Do you know what I mean?
Piggybacking on this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Wow. So for me, they're kind of two I wouldn't really mind if they weren't there or not, but my heart, because I think it's actually a really unhealthy relationship and I would rather see it off my screen as soon as possible, is Adam and Rosie. I just don't think that's a healthy dynamic. I don't think it sets a really good example. I know you don't go to Love Island to look for an example. Let's face it, we all go to kind of have a bit of a laugh as well at their expense.
Yeah, it's what makes good TV.
But across the Twitter feed, people just aren't impressed with it, which I think is quite cool. It's great. It's actually opened up a lot of conversations between women and men who are all saying, oh God, what he's doing is not right.
And seeing that behaviour like, on your screen makes people, work against it.
So for me, I would really like to see probably, I'm going to say Adam and Rosie as well. Am I going to regret that? They may not end up in the bottom two. It's all going to depend who's in that bottom two and what kind of way the vote goes. But we aren't the only ones with opinions.
No, exactly.
There's lots of opinions over on radiotimes.com.
Yeah, and also, in the wider world. So who do you think you're going to vote for?
Yeah.
If you get a chance to vote, that is.
Who do you think will be in the bottom two? We want to know. Don't forget to leave us your comments in the box below. And don't forget to like and subscribe as well, because we have lots of Love Island video content coming your way every single day, and you will not miss a minute of it if you are subscribed to Radio Times on YouTube. And of course, we've lots of great content written by Ellie and our Love Island aficionado Francis Taylor over on radiotimes.com. So be sure to keep checking it out. Until next time, I've been Sarah Doran.
I've been Ellie Harrison.
Thanks for watching, and see you soon.